We are going to continue our post-race media availabilities. We are now joined by the race winner at Pocono Raceway, Denny Hamlin. If you have a question for Denny, please raise your hand and we will get a wireless mic to you. Please be patient. We have a lot of hands. We will start with Bob.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. Before the season, you said it could go really, really well or not so well. I'm curious, when did you know that it would be going this well?
I mean, probably a couple of races in. I told you guys I was not very locked in for the first couple of races with everything, and so I just I never forget Michael. When he addressed 2311 in the off season, he's like, it's he says, what I'm interested to see is what does Denny do, because after what happened in Phoenix, you either pick yourself up and you respond or you fold. We'll find out. He's finding out.
We'll go to Dustin.
Dustin Albino, J-Ski. Denny, where do you feel like 3 straight wins ranks on your list of accomplishments that you've had?
I mean, I don't think it's going to be something that's going to go on the resume, but it's going to be something that I certainly remember. Yeah, I mean, it's really not until you guys brought it to my attention that nobody in the top 10, I was the only one that hadn't had 3 in a row in the top 10 of the winners. So that certainly was, I was highly motivated anyway coming in here. I knew this would be my best shot. I knew that it ends next week, obviously. But now I'm just thinking, holy crap, man, we're 3 seconds away from having 5 in a row at Charlotte with the rain. Oh, my goodness. It's been a fun run.
We will go to the middle of the room.
Mason Smith from the Pocono Record. Danny, 8th win at Pocono.
9th.
Does it ever get old winning? Does it ever kind of just get old winning here, but more seriously, just the idea of how much success you've had here and just all the kind of memories you've had at the Triangle?
No, it doesn't. Just simply because, like, when I see, my career highlights, the algorithm feeds you your own shit because you look at it. But it's like there's so many Pocono memories. Like, it's replaying Pocono wins or, when I put somebody in the wall for a win or something like that. So it's always been part of kind of like my highlight reel. And, like, it'd be so cool to, in my last year, whenever that is, I guess next year, like to win it in my first year and win it in my last year. That'd be pretty cool. But we're coming close.
Denny, Zach Reddy, WBRE here. To get this win, to now make it 8 wins on the NASCAR, 9 altogether, to pass Rowdy, to pass Kyle Busch as the all-time wins leader here this year, this season. What does this mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's super special. Certainly for a lot of reasons, but I'm just at this point in my career just trying to stack as many wins as possible, points, whatever, wherever we finish in the championships, whatever. It just, to me, it's like wins. Like, what is your win percentage? And that's what I really am trying to continue on a run. And you always have aspirations to win 36 out of 36 races in a given season. It's not going to happen. But, we've had so many races where we've been dominant this year. Yeah, we won 4, but, man, we could easily have a lot right now. And so, I don't know. It's just been – I don't think I've had a year where it's been this wild and crazy of being able to execute. Yeah, that's been the biggest difference. Over the last month versus early in the season, the speed's no different. It's just execution's better.
We'll go in the middle.
Hey, Denny. First and foremost, Ryan from Five Lug Racing, by the way. Congratulations. You just made history tonight with you and Tyler Reddick both having a three-peat in this same season. I don't believe that's ever been done before, so that's awesome. But I want to ask you about the race. Pocono is all about momentum and precision. Where did you feel you were the strongest compared to the field, and how much of this win came down to execution versus raw speed?
Good question. I feel as though I was best of the field on the exit of turn 2. I thought it was a combination. It's hard for me to weigh. Was it speed? I think it was probably more speed, but you can lose by strategy. So speed allows us to run the strategy we want to run, and then it takes a lot of faith from Chris Gale to say, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and win this stage, and which I know at that point, well, when I got to go past 7 cars. It's not easy to pass here, but he had faith that we could do it, that we could get the restarts we needed. There was a few key ones that I gained. Went second to last one from 6th to 2nd, and then from 2nd to 1st. And from that point on, we got control of the race. And I think the fast car opens up all the other things, and it makes strategy a heck of a lot easier. If you're looking for strategy to win you the race, it's usually because you don't have a car fast enough or track position.
Thank you. And if I may ask you just one more quick one, how does today's run stack up against your other 7 wins here?
They're similar. I mean, I feel like all the wins have been similar. Races here always kind of play out the same kind of way. It's just as big as the racetrack is, and you can pit without going a lap down, as long as you're within 17 seconds of the leader, it just allows. It always turns into a strategy race. But like, if you're up front and can run fast, you eliminate the amount of people that can flip you on strategy. So from the very beginning, I told Cliff Daniels, I says, whatever one of us gets out here on the start, we need to go. Like, we need to push the pace to not allow more cars to flip us. And I think only 6 was able to flip us because of how far we were able to stretch it out. So that was executed good by both teams. And it allowed us to not get buried to where I had to play catch-up all day.
Dustin?
Dustin Long, USA Sports. You referenced what Michael said in the off-season, and I'm curious, obviously something resonated about that because you remember that and bring that back up several months later. What was it, I'm guessing, that caught you off guard, or what was it that made you think, or what kind of an impact did those words from Michael have on you at that moment or even later?
Well, I mean, when it happened, you know, I'm fresh off of a lot of shit going bad, right? So, you know, I'm showing up at the team meeting. You know, we're there to give our motivational speech to 2311 on the season, you know, define what our expectations are as owners, challenge our guys to get better. And, you know, I don't know what brought it up. I can't remember that part of it. But I almost saw it as a challenge at that point, right? Because you know, it's not like he won a championship in his first year. You know, he went through the failure, and then boom, he bounced back, right? So I think just like everything else, you know, if it's booze or it's trolls on social media, like that, it's just, that's fuel for me. They don't know they're just fueling me, and that's bad. If they're rooting against me, you're not doing it the right way. So I just, at that point, when he said he was interested to see what happens, like I considered that a challenge at that point.
Had, outside the golf course, had he ever challenged you in a way like that, even through all your years of friendship? I know you guys joke and kid a lot, but this seems like, at least from the outside, something that maybe hasn't happened at least in this way before. Not directly. No, nothing that I can really. And I don't think he was trying to do that. He just. Yes, it hit that way, and it might have been because the 45 had a winless season and whatnot, and I can't remember. They might have recorded it, so I'd be interested to see what the context of it was. But I just remember that clip, and it's right here.
We'll go into the middle of the room.
Hey, Denny, Eddie Claggy, Motorsports Today. Congrats on the win. 2 questions for you. First off, how refreshing was it today? Obviously, the strategies jumbled things up a little bit, but the fact that you didn't have to come all the way from the back, I know with a fast car it can be fun passing everybody, but being in the mix towards the front all day for this win.
Well, I mean, I said it over the last 2 weeks, but it was true this week. That we were not going to be able to come from the back this week. This racetrack is really narrow as far as the groove. It's just not going to be possible. It's not like 2006 where you can go to the back and come back through. The field is tighter than it's ever been. So I knew we were going to have to execute really, really well at a high level. So I did all the work that I felt like I needed to do. Green flag pit stops. The pit crew did their part. The team gave me the strategy they thought was best. I was worried about it, but it turned out to be the right one. And so this race always comes down to execution. You got to have the speed first, then you execute, then strategy. That's the three things kind of in order of importance.
And also for you, you've executed all weekend long now, the last 3 weeks. I saw the stat too. I'm sure it was echoed on Prime, but first driver since Darrell Waltrip in 1981 to win from the pole 3 weeks in a row. What does that mean to you, especially with the fact that you're showing up not just with qualifying speed, but race pace as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I mean, truthfully, when my balance was as far off as it was yesterday in practice and we were still, I think, second fastest, I was like, truthfully, when I looked at the lap time, I thought we were in a different second bracket because I was like, oh, shit, like I'm a half a second off of Reddick. I was in the wrong bracket. We were a second faster than I thought, so we were half a second faster than Reddick. And so when I was watching him in practice, I was like, damn, the 45 is really fast. And I call those guys practice Jesuses anyway. But they just, I thought that they had the car. And, I mean, they backed it up with a really strong performance after qualifying in the teens. So when I had that kind of speed and I knew that I still had some room to gain with my car, that's where I was like, okay, I need to qualify well. That's step one. And then I need to have a good execution race. That'll be step two.
Tim Moore, Motorsports Day. Congrats on the win, Denny. Can you kind of recall for me there in the final 20 laps, because I know the 24 started to close in on you a little bit, and I know you're trying to catch Bell. Just kind of what's going through your mind there?
Yeah, I mean, I was really actually impressed with the 24 speed. I wasn't taking it super easy. He caught me naturally on speed. I raced around the 9. I raced around all of them except for really the 48, and I thought all of them had speed that could challenge. I think that we just had a little bit better balance in the super long run versus all three of those guys. But I thought heads up, speed to speed, the Hendrick cars were toe to toe with us today. So we were a little better on the back end of runs, and that was the difference maker. But I just thought that he was going to have a tough time. This is a racetrack where you really got to have a big disparity of speed to get around guys. And I knew that I was in control enough of my car that it was going to be really tough for him to pass me. And then I just waited on my car to really get good in the long run. Then we went ahead and pulled away.
And I know you didn't really find out till Saturday about the in-season tournament, but you are lined up against Ty Dillon again. So any thoughts on that?
My kryptonite. What's the first race? I'm cooked.
We'll come to the front to Scott.
Scott Walsh from the Scranton Times-Tribune. Denny, along the lines of the previous question, did you kind of have the feeling that Bell wasn't going to make it to the end? I don't want to say you were sitting waiting back, but were you just kind of where you didn't have to press the issue there with him, figuring at some point he's going to run out and you're just going to take the lead anyway?
Yeah, I mean, my team felt confident a few times that it'd be hard for him to make it and still run the pace that was good enough to hold us off. But they kept I noticed a few times I could sense the nervousness when they kept bringing up, go if you can. That tells me that they were nervous that he might have made it. and so I don't know. I really wasn't crazy nervous about it because I mean the only thing I can do is just run the pace that my car is capable of. If it gets there, it gets there. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And if it doesn't, then that's just another Toyota win. So we know that we brought a really fast car, and I just really didn't let it change how I drove or how I approached those last 25 laps. If we get beat on strategy by someone that was able to make it, then so be it.
We'll go to Jeff.
I don't know if we've asked recently how your shoulder's holding up. What is the status of that? And do you think, as good as you're driving, could you theoretically make it all the way through next season now without having to do anything to it? Because you originally thought you were going to have surgery in the off season.
It's so interesting because it never healed from the surgery I had almost a couple years ago now. So it never reattached. It just retore right away. But it didn't bother me until the week after I stopped racing at Phoenix. And next thing you know, I can't sleep. I can't lay on that side. It's like really bugging me. So I don't know if it's like PT is just doing this shit every week, but it's not bothering me a lot in season. Now I am really limited. The things that I do in the gym are extracurricular to not really piss it off. So I've had to cut back those things. But if I knew I could keep it like this, I would just wait till the end of next year and get it fixed versus ruining my off season. But he said he wanted to get another look at it in a couple of weeks to just kind of check the status of it. I can assure you it didn't fix itself. So it's not bothering me right now in the car.
And then obviously Bell does have something that's really bothering him. Do you have any sense of what kind of mountain he has to climb even today with not being able to basically use one hand? Like what, from a driver's standpoint, what challenge would that present?
Is this left or right? Left. Yeah, I mean, so that would bother me because I'm a left-hand pull person. I think as a driver, there's two different types. There's ones that guide with the right or ones that just pull down with the left. I'm a pull down. This hand is just hanging on for the ride. It's just for TV. But you know, Dale Jr. and those guys, Mark Martin, they really use their elbow, their hand on the right side to guide the car. So that would bother me. I don't know what Christopher's style is, but you know, I talked to him yesterday and he said in the car it doesn't bother me one bit here. Next week he thinks will be a different story. So you know, it's interesting in those situations. I just tell you, because I've raced injured a lot in my career, sometimes it brings out the best of you because you just are hyper focused on not being the weak link. And even though, you know, last week was not of his own doing, like I always treated it as that, like, man, I did something stupid outside the car. I'm playing something. I end up getting hurt. I can't let that be, you know, these guys work way too hard for me to be the one to let them down. So usually you get your best driver in those situations. But it sounded like, you know, the ovals are really not going to bother Christopher, but it's just, you know, what happens next week, I don't know.
We'll go to the back of the room.
Seth Woolcock, In Between Media. Denny, you now have more wins at Pocono than any other track in the Cup Series. Where does it rank on your favorite tracks all time, and what are the other tracks on that list as well?
Well, it's a good thing we don't race here twice a year anymore, I guess, but I wish we did. I think the place has earned it. Sold out grandstands 4 years in a row. I come here Saturday morning, the infield, there's a line going in. It's packed. You know, this place has just absolutely mastered the fan experience, and it's a testament to the staff here, the ownership here is just doing a phenomenal job of treating the fans the right way, and that's why they're coming out. And so I wish we got to race here more, but I'm selfish, and it's more for on-track reasons because, you know, we do have so much success here. but it's just I found speed here when I was a rookie, following Mark Martin for 5 laps my rookie season. I had no idea about this place. I thought that he was the right guy to follow. Followed him, passed him on lap 6, and thought, well, okay, I think I got this place figured out. And then from that point on, we've won a lot of races. So it's just I just approached the place the same way every time, and it's worked.
I talked to Chris Grill before you came in. I was just asking about the balance between relying on your experience and then you also relying on the advice and what your team is seeing. What is it kind of like you said, having so much success here, knowing that, A, you could say, you know what, I'm confident, I know what I do despite what they say, versus, you know what, maybe I should kind of hear them out and make sure, we're working as more as a team.
I'm sorry. Ask the first part again. I was zoned out. I'm sorry.
Just what's it like kind of balancing, trusting in your experience versus just kind of relying or at least hearing what your team has to say?
My specific 11 team, right? Yes. It just comes with a lot of trust. The one thing I love about the 11 team in specific is that, they do a great job of coaching me, and they're not afraid to tell me where I need to improve, but they never, ever, ever question what I need out of the car. And that comes with years of experience, right? And when you have results like this, it certainly makes it easy. But they never, when I tell them, this is what I need, this is the direction I want you to go down this week, here's where I think I've been not so good over the last few years, improve this part of the track for me. They go do it. And so that trust has just been what, in my mind has been, such an important role in our success. And so, and it's gone both ways too, right? I mean, when they say that last week was a great example. No, it was 2 weeks ago at Nashville when Gale's, he can hear that I'm trying to talk him into pitting, and he says, my call, we're staying. Like, I love that. I love someone that's not afraid to push back and say, no, I got more information than you. We're going to live and die by my call. I'm confident in this. I'll ride with that guy.
We'll take 2 more questions, one over here and then finish in the back.
Elena Lucido, WBRE. You guys have a quick turnaround to go all the way to San Diego. How much of a toll does that take on your body after going through a competitive race like this and then having to go coast to coast for your next one?
It's a lot. I mean, truthfully, it is a lot. I mean, recovery has taken me an extra 24 hours over what it did, 5 years ago. But a lot of the work for the teams have been, they're kind of ahead of schedule. Their cars are pretty much ready to go. Just put the setup in it, and they can take off. But generally speaking, for me, it'll be a hard work week, no doubt about it. But I'm excited to try to keep this run going somehow, some way. So don't want it to stop now, and we've come so far. With the points that we've gathered over the last few months, that it's like, I don't want to break that momentum. So regardless of how much work it is, it's, a great result will make me feel like it's worth it.
One final question.
Davey Siegel with SiriusXM. Denny, I think I've asked you this question before, but since you keep winning with him, I'll kind of ask it again in a different way. This is not the first time when you got paired up with Chris Gale. We've heard from you in the past and your team, this is my last crew chief. I think we heard it with Wheels, we heard it with Gabe Hart, and I don't know if we've heard it with Chris, but the point is...
I can assure you this is my last one. I will quit if they want to have another November 10th at 10 p.m. meeting. I am out. You can forget it.
Okay, noted. But on that note, I mean, what you and Chris are doing together, he was saying to Victory Lane that you dream of runs like this as a crew chief. How much credit do you think he deserves for the success the team is putting in at this point in time?
The unsung hero, in my opinion. Obviously, a lot of credit goes to, well, it's my experience. Oh, it's my car. Well, the cars just don't appear out of clean air with a lot of speed on them. It takes a lot of work from a lot of people, and you have to have a captain guiding the ship. And what I think he's done a great job of is coming into the 11s, system and then refining the system from a different perspective, right? And I think sometimes you really can get caught up in this is the way we've always done it. We've had good success in it, and this is the way we're going to do it. But he's not been afraid to put his own touches on the race team and guide our guys and our engineers and myself in certain directions that we think will improve the team. So I don't think enough credit goes to Chris Gale and certainly what he's doing with this race team and the cars he's putting on the racetrack right now.
All right. Thanks, Denny. Congratulations.
Thank you.